Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Reignite Your Path and Passion, a jumpstart platform for women 40 plus to reignite, to repurpose, to re-go for those dreams, to get clarity on them, or perhaps you have a new dream that you want to step into. So we've got lots of speakers and tips here at this event. I'm Mitta, your host, originally from New Zealand, living in Los Angeles. But today we have Ruth Ratliff with us. Hi, Ruth.
Hello, how are you, Mitta? Wonderful to be here.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. And we're so glad that you were able to come onto the event today and share with us all your knowledge and expertise and experience and love. So let me tell you a little bit about Ruth. Ruth is a voice professional and vibrational sound therapist, teacher, author, and speaker. Her work centers on the belief that voice and vibration are instruments of healing, empowerment, and connection. She's a licensed certified vibrational sound therapist with certifications in vocal sound healing, Shodan Reiki, and spiritual coaching. She's been a professional vocalist, holistic voice coach, and workshop leader for many years. Ruth's book, The Voice of Women's Wisdom, wow, can be found on Amazon. And her topic today is radical self-care with sound, voice, and vibration. I love that, Ruth. The word radical just resonates, and it just is amazing to put that in with self-care. Well, what prompted you to put those two together?
Well, I looked up radical self-care and it basically says that it's just really going out of your way to commit to making time for yourself. And when I say radical, I don't mean it has to be radically difficult, because what I'm going to be showing your guests today is how simple, really, it is to pay attention to yourself and give yourself a little extra TLC and healing energy and clarity to be able to, how did you say it, to reignite your path and passion and purpose. Yeah, especially at the time of life when a lot of us are questioning what we're doing here on the planet.
Yeah, no kidding. There's a lot of that lately. And especially in the last few years, I would even say. But is there anything you want to tell us a little bit more about you, about your background to sort of where you got here today, just so we can know a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. So I love my parents, love my brother, my family. They're all in spirit now. And I grew up in an environment that was not very, let's say, it wasn't very good for showing how to speak well, how to share my feelings, how to share who I was, being comfortable with that. I grew up in an alcoholic family dynamic. My dad was a very high functioning alcoholic, and my parents really did not model healthy ways of being and for relating and for intimacy and for communication. Once I remember a very short story sitting at the dining room table with my mom and my brother, my younger brother, as a teenager, and we all had our coats on and we were playing cards by candlelight because my dad apparently had come home drunk, and maybe one of us left a window or a door open, I don't remember, but he went around slamming, all the doors open, all the windows open, turned the power off, and yelling at the top of his voice, if you want to waste power, I'll waste power. So we were basically, my mother was, shh, don't wake daddy, let him fall asleep, shh, right? And what do you think that would do, right, to this? Yeah. So that was just one instance. And even though, I'm very, very, very aware that my parents did the best they could and that they were only doing what they were given, and they were continuing the cycle, basically. When I was 17, Christmas Eve, my dad again came home from drinking, and I did confront him. And I said, Dad, you're an alcoholic. And he slapped me across the face. And then I went out with my boyfriend at the time and came back, and Dad was gone. That was the last time I saw him alive. He apparently left after that, and a state trooper greeted us Christmas morning to tell us that my dad had died in an accident. And then my mom, who was maybe not quite a decade later, had cancer, did not tell us that she was told she only had a short time to live. We found out the day she died in the hospital. And my younger brother, who had been diagnosed previously with manic depression, understandably, probably from all the dysfunction, he wound up committing suicide 9 months after my mom passed on.
Wow.
So, growing up in that environment and then all the loss, I'm still working through it, but I absolutely feel beyond a shadow of a doubt that my relationship with music and learning my voice, had been taking voice lessons the whole time and singing and learning how to perform. I was a, professional singer, and learning how to share my voice gave me that sense of empowerment. It also, I believe, helped transmute and clear. I don't really like to use the word clear a lot. It's more transmute because it's all a part of me. To transmute and to work with and to heal from the grief and the trauma. So
Mm.
that is why I feel so strongly about vibration and sound and your own voice, to be
Mm.
able to, as I said, as you've said, to be an instrument of healing and empowerment.
Right. And it was interesting when you were talking about when your father came home that night and yelled a lot and was very loud, and then your mother was whispering very soft. And I'm thinking, you have that probably now that range in your sound healing of louder and softer, and how that was sort
Oh,
of a part of that early life, those levels of sound, and even in an early life. So that's what came to me when you were talking. So I'm
interesting.
sure, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of this, I'm sure it brought you about to being a sound therapist. So tell us more about what, that inspiration to actually become a sound therapist.
Certainly. I wound up becoming a voice teacher. I was a voice teacher for about 20 years and always fascinated by, how the voice affected people. I saw it in my young students, how they would gain more confidence and more centeredness, more grace and empowerment through taking lessons. And my husband bought me a throat chakra bowl about 10 years ago, and that was the beginning of the end. And then I wanted to do something different. I wanted to work with women empowerment, and it was funny. It happened sort of around menopause. You know how we always have that there. It's definitely a spiritual, emotional shift in women, I believe.
Mhm,
It
definitely.
certainly was for me. And then I took a course and became certified, and that was over 6 years ago.
Wow. So tell the people here today a little bit more about sound healing, what it is, and how it can help, so that they can have a better understanding of sort of everything that it encompasses. It's not just music, or it's not just this. So tell us a little bit more so we can get a better idea.
Sure. Well, you've heard and seen it all over social media. Everything is vibration, right? And
Mhm.
it is really, I mean, the hard desk is vibrating, the air is vibrating. Well, and that's hard to get. They are vibrating, but at different rates of speed. Well, we are vibrating. We are literally a symphony of frequencies and vibrations. And sound is a vibration that travels through air, liquids, solids, and it has the capacity to travel through us and affect us biologically, energetically, and certainly spiritually as well. Our body is literally wired for sound. We have oh my gosh, in our skin, sometimes, when you listen to a beautiful piece of music, you get goosebumps. Or
Mhm.
are some of the skin cells, the type of skin cells on the surface, have little hair-like projections called cilia, and they're like little antennae that take in sound like it's nourishment. And they found out that the cells actually sing and talk to one another and communicate with frequency and vibration. So there's this little conversation going on inside of you that you don't even know about, right?
Right.
And there are, sound therapy is all about, yeah, it's all about, of course, your listening, right? Your ears. The ear brain voice connection is a very subtle system in our body. And there's a beautiful book called Your Brain on Music. I love that, about all the beneficial effects. But yes, you're correct. Music isn't the only, even though it's wonderful, okay? But of course, there are other instruments, and I know a lot of us are familiar with the singing bowls, right? And the gongs and chimes and tuning forks. And my personal favorite is the human voice, obviously, because that's my instrument, right? And there's people have done binaural beats. There's music. I think there's another kind. I can't remember it right now, but there's another type of music where they use different frequencies, like that create like a set it up in your brain where you go into that deep state. So sound therapy gets you into that deep state, like the alpha or the theta brainwave state. It decreases your heart rate, your blood pressure. It helps to facilitate the release of happy hormones, our endorphins and melatonin, so we sleep better, and melatonin is much more important than for sleep. And it also has the net effect, which is wonderful, of connecting the two hemispheres of the brain. It literally produces like a little neural pathway. You know how we can create new neural networks in our brain,
Absolutely.
and that right, and that can help to facilitate the deeper processing. So people will come out of a sound bath, as they call it, or my one-on-one sound therapy, feeling lighter. That's the word that they describe, like something was lifted or realigned, because sound literally reforms and restructures matter at the molecular quantum level. And I have a video. Whenever you're ready, I'd love to show your guests to show them that.
Oh, please do. Would you like to do it now?
Sure. So just a little preface to that. If everybody, some people are not still familiar with the very relatively new study of cymatics, that's cymatics, or kymatics, some people call it. But it's basically the study of how sound effects matter, and it has really opened up how sound affects all of us. So a device was developed in 2013, I think it was, or even before then, called a cymoscope. And it's basically just a speaker, drop of water, video camera to record the effects on water, on this drop of water of sound. And they have recorded all sorts of beautiful things, like star sounds, the sounds of healthy cells, the sound of cancerous cells, very different, the sound of animals, and they have recorded the sound of the human voice. And that's what I wanted to show you this now. And this is somebody's voice in the cymoscope.
Wow. I
It's a
love that.
wow.
It is, because
Yeah.
it's so amazing. It's almost so uniform and yet not uniform. And it's mesmerizing, and it's truly amazing to think that those vibrations can make that kind of a pattern. And it is amazing.
Yes, that is referred to as sacred geometry. Each and every frequency produces, they put sand on a plate and with a tone generator, and they'll go up the scale very slowly, and each frequency produces a specific different geometric pattern. And the reason that our voices produce this beautiful complex pattern is because we have overtones. You know, if I just go ah, you hear that, what they call the fundamental sound, but really there's all these other frequencies above that pitch. So it's the sound, the complement of the sound is so complicated, and it can really just sort of suffuse through your body with vibrations that really are, and frequencies that are custom made for each one of us because our voice is like a fingerprint. It is as unique as a fingerprint.
So can someone record their own voice and then play, and perhaps more of a meditative thing, and then play it back to themselves later when they want to say relax? Or do you create sort of any kind of customized recordings like that?
You can do that. I guess that would be cool. But I think the benefits that you would get from doing it yourself, the vibrations that are going down into your body would really, it'd be a shame to just listen to a recording, although you could, it does work. There's a couple things that you can do. I love to just tell people there's something very simple they can do. It's from the traditional Chinese medicine. It's a sound called Vu, V-O-O, ooh, Vu. And if you close your eyes and just do that maybe 3 or 4 times, Vu, comfortable low pitch. It doesn't have to be my pitch. Just to have your Vu. Vu. I don't know if you can feel sort of a deepening in your body, a feeling of groundedness,
Relaxation.
relaxation. That's
Mhm.
because the voice is innervated by the vagus nerve and it activates the parasympathetic branch, which gets us into that rest and digest state, which is telling our body we're safe. I literally almost cured myself of fear of flying with that sound.
Mm.
Yeah, I was on the plane listening to the guided meditation. You are safe. The plane is safe. And I'm going really soft. Ooh. And I had tears running down my face because I was so happy I wasn't going into a panic attack when they said, put the seatbelts on, there's turbulence, right? And each time I flew after that, subsequently, it was less and less because I was building those new neural pathways.
Mm. Wonderful. I know you use singing bowls as well, and to keep your vibrations up and high. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Certainly. Um, they are just gorgeous. There's quite a few different types. Um, this is called optically pure quartz, and it's a handle bowl, a practitioner bowl. These quartz bowls, these and the ones that sit on the table as well, or the floor, they produce a sine wave, and that sine wave is a repeating sound, and that gets us into what they call a hypnagogic state. It's almost hypnotic, and that's the alpha or the theta brainwave state, almost like the state between sleep and wake. And people will lucid dream. Some people will journey. Some people see people in their family and friends in spirit as well. It's really been amazing what people will tell me, and it works virtually as well as in person as well. It's
Wow.
quite beautiful. And this is beautiful heart chakra bowl.
You go a little closer, can't quite hear.
Sure.
Oh, now I can.
Here.
Yep.
And I love just doing intuitive singing to the sound of the bowls.
Is that a special language, or is that just something that you
Just
intuitively
something
comes
that
from?
comes
Yeah.
out. Everybody asks me that.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, no. And if you just sometimes, if you put on, even go outside and listen to the birds, or put on a recording or a video of somebody playing singing bowls, you can also get into that state by just consciously listening, by opening up your awareness to the sounds in your outer environment. That is also a very beautifully meditative thing to do. And also then turning it inwardly and listening to your own inner landscape. What is your body trying to tell you? And to put your hands, I like to do an exercise where I either put my hands on my chest or what they call the dantian, which is like our sacral chakra, the womb space, and just breathe into those spaces and just talk to my body, say, what can you tell me? And sometimes I'll help by doing either a low sound or some of the there's again the traditional Chinese medicine. There are 6 healing sounds for all the organ systems, if you're familiar with that. uh, and I love the one for the lungs because it strengthens the voice, and that's the hiss. And I just think about releasing any toxicity or grief or depression or sadness. And then I'll add an ah, sa. And that just gets me into that real open heart feeling, that high heart feeling. I love it. I just had an opportunity to do that today because, I was going on, just running around so much. I feel very blessed to be so busy, but it does get me a little bit here in the solar plexus, right? A little running around, feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. And I just went outside and I did that today, and it just cleared it right up. It was lovely.
Mm. I know you've already talked a little bit about the cells, but I remember reading on your site, you were talking about that each cell has a unique sonic signature. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Right. Our cells are like a microcosm of us. They are their own little sentient beings, and they each sound differently, which is fascinating. They've done cymoscope sound prints of cells, individual cells, and they're all different. They all have those different patterns in the cymoscope, the beautiful patterns. So when even the ones that are, from what I believe, are like of the same system, which you think, no, that wouldn't, you think all heart cells would sound the same, but they don't. So that's what I thought, that was fascinating.
Yeah.
So that's why I love using the voice for this work, as well as the bowls, because you're really because the voice has so many overtones and frequencies that you are really affecting the body on so many different levels with that, and really getting each cell, into each cell with all those different frequencies, and hopefully one of them or two of them will match that cell's sonic signature.
Mm. Wow. So much we don't know, and we're going to learn more things from you.
Well, and there's so much more scientific studies being done at this point, thankfully, about the nature of sound and how its applications are far-reaching. And Edgar Cayce, if anybody's familiar with that, he's considered the father of holistic medicine. He was a psychic back in the 40s. He said the medicine of the future will be music and sound. And I think some other luminaries have said that as well. And I think we're absolutely seeing that now.
Yes, and I think Nostradamus mentioned at some point.
Right? Or
Sound was
Pythagoras
yeah,
too.
yes,
They
they all
all
mentioned
did.
about sound being very important, in the
Right.
future especially. So yeah, so true. Um, any other tips and tools you'd like to mention that you have about managing stress and building resilience? I know you've mentioned some, so I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to mention.
Sure. I think you can incorporate sound, frequency, vibration into your daily life in so many ways. One of them may be listen to uplifting music. Another way is listening to guided meditations. They're all over the place, right? And YouTube, on Spotify. Listening to what they call healing frequencies. But with a grain, I'd say take what they say with a grain of salt. People will say 528, the magical hertz, clear, cure all. I don't ascribe to that. Maybe some people do. If it works for you, fine. But just listen to it and see if it affects you. That's my thought. Go to the vibrations of Mother Earth. Get outside in your bare feet and stand in the earth. And what they call earthing or grounding is a way of picking up those ions from the earth. We are literally electrical beings, and we need to complete the circuit. You know how you have to ground when you do something in your house, right? When you put in a plug. We're the same way, and we get that vibration, that frequency from the earth to help us. It helps energize us. Okay. I love breathing, deep meditative breathing. Do those, look up 6 healing sounds from the traditional Chinese medicine. I also have a video on my YouTube channel where I move through that, but I also add sound. Instead of the breath, I add sound. So it's a little different. Um, Connecting with the vibration of your pets and plants too. You
Beautiful.
know, yeah. Plants are so healing, and they also are sentient beings as well. And last but not least, attend to sound healing meditation.
Ah, yes.
But just, I'll stand in the shower, Mita, really, I'll stand in the shower and I will just say thank you to the water. And I will, because gratitude is one of the highest exalted emotions. So I'll just tone into the water, the gratitude, tone into my chest, just do the heart sound or whatever sounds, organic sounds want to come. And that clears me and clears my mind, clears my intention for the day, and it just gets me off on the right foot. And it's a very simple thing. You can kind of like piggyback that with other things. Just stretching with sound. Ah,
Right. That's actually a good
right?
point. Yeah.
That just using sound to stretch it, it's way different than without the sound. We all want to make that sound, right? That's called pandiculation. Just an organic sort of stretching with sound at your desk. It's so easy. And these are small, simple things that everybody can do. And I feel like that can help so much to keep us on that path, right? Keep us, we all get pulled in so many different directions in this world today, right? There's so many distractions from these silly things, everything else. And time feels like it's just going so fast. So each time you do something like that, you stop and you become in the moment. Sound, that's what sound does. Sound brings you into the present moment right away. You're there, right? You're there. So interesting.
Well, something else that I think will also interest, we've got a lot of attendees who are women 40 plus, and you have a blog post about sound therapy for sleep. And I'm thinking that could be very interesting to people another thing that's very interesting to the people who are watching today. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Certainly, because of its again, because of the effect on the vagus nerve and releasing that melatonin and getting you into that lower brainwave state. People will tell me after a sound therapy session they got the best sleep of their life. So it absolutely can help with sleep. And a very easy thing to do again is to go on YouTube. Has tons of sound therapists out there, just hoping somebody will click on their videos. And everybody has their own favorites. You might have to go through a few to see which works for you. But definitely, if you do listen virtually, a tip is to listen with earbuds or headphones. You get your phone maybe in the bed and you get your Bluetooth earbuds and just lie down and listen to something. Or get yourself a singing bowl. I have a big metal singing bowl. And if I'm having trouble sleeping, I put it on my belly and I just strike it myself rhythmically. And that will send beautiful vibrations down into my body and I go out. Yeah, so it does
Wow.
a lot. It really is wonderful for sleeping. It's very indicated for anxiety and stress relief, PTSD. It helps with that a lot, helps with depression. They've done a lot of studies. I think a study in 2016 found out that sound healing therapy brought down depression, fatigue, anger, stress like over 50% in the participants of the study.
Mm, wow, I
Yeah,
can imagine.
it's very profound modality.
You have a free gift. And it's a deep crystal singing bowl sound meditation. I think it's called Ocean Waves and Singing Bowls for relaxation. Would you like
Yes,
to just
ma'am.
elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. That was something I did a number of years ago, and I love the ocean sound behind it, and that one particularly, people have told me really helps them to sleep. So I hope the listeners will enjoy this. And you can claim that on my there's a URL, and I think you're going to provide that right in the
Yes.
information. Yes. And that's just Ruth Ratliff, my name, ruthratliff.com/giveaway.
Yes. So all of Ruth's links will be underneath this video. So I'd love for you to all go and explore everything that she has to offer. And her free gift link is going to be below this video as well. So definitely go down, click on all the links, explore her offers and who she is. She's got so much to offer and so many beautiful things. Ruth, do you have any final words of wisdom?
Hmm. Stay open. Stay open to new possibility
Mm.
and new information, new things in your life. Yeah, we're not in go out, get rid of the box. We don't need it. We never needed it.
Oh, that's great. Yes, it's so true. It's
There's
living.
more things, right? What is that Shakespearean phrase? There's more things in heaven and earth than man has dreamed.
Oh, oh, that's lovely. I actually don't know if I've heard that before. That's beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Ruth.
Shakespeare. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
And so this has been Ruth Ratliff, and we've just been really enjoying hearing about sound therapy and everything that she offers. Ruth, thank you so much. We're going to sign off now. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.